Hello everybody, I'm Neomustic and welcome to the next video, the next tutorial. This will be the same as two tutorials ago, but this time with a house. As you guys can see, I'm making the house now and I'm sorry for all the noise. I kinda broke my webcam, I think. So I've got a lot of background noise and I can't reduce it. I'll have to look into that later when I get a new laptop. But yeah, what you see me doing here is basically just making some beams to support the house, because every house needs a support. Making the door. The top thing that I'm working on now is going to be the roof, and I'm going to do something special with it. Excuse me. Yeah, so making the roof, nothing much to say about it. I keep adding beams to make it look a lot nicer. I did do a little bit of hang down on the roof, but I'll explain this in the video. It's going to follow right after this. I keep adding stuff and I noticed that I did something wrong in a second. Luckily it's just a 2-minute video, so you guys won't really notice it because it's going so fast. So the house is almost finished. The next thing that I'll be doing is I'll be giving them colors. This is going to be the floor, because we did make some floor tile stuff. So yeah, I made this floor just so we can use that for the video. Also, I made some other mistakes which I didn't really notice at this point, but I will notice later on in the video. For example, the roof has a different color than the rest of the building. This is because I reverted the normals on it, and that's a big mistake, a big no-no. You should never do that. But yeah, as you can see, these beams, the beams are a little bit darker than the beams on the house itself. So yeah, I'm just giving it color. This is basically just a visual representation of what we'll be doing, and I'm going to start explaining that right now. Okay, so as you guys can see, I just made the house. I didn't unwrap the UVs, but I did assign the different textures and colors already to the right objects. And I think I forgot these two. But yeah, house beams, and there we go. So this is just basically an easy visual representation of what we'll be unwrapping. For example, everything with the same color will be the same item, object, texture. Meaning I've got these two, this one over here, and those are gray, so that means they're going to be the house stone stuff that we made. These ones, the light brownish things, are going to be the walls. The door I'm going to do as the wall color as well, but I'm going to use a different, not color, but I'm going to use a different specularity and a different diffuse on it. Probably a darker one, because lighter is going to be really hard to do. The roof, that's going to be the roof tiles that we made, and these are the beams. I didn't make those in the tutorials yet, but I did make some and I am going to use them. So let's get started. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to unwrap to see what this says. Smart project, and it says I'm junk and I'm all messed up. So this will basically be the UV unwrapping that we'll get in our final project. So these ones are probably all going to be textured in a different texture type of thing. What I could do, and that's maybe a good thing to do, I can start marking seams. If you don't know how to do that, that's you select the edges that you want to mark. Hold on, I'll finish what I'm saying in a second. Like I said, it's really hard to work and at the same time talk. So marking seams basically means these are edges, and the other part when unwrapping is going to be a different model. I need to go into that view. Same over here probably, yeah. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically just taking my UVs and I'm changing them to how I prefer them to be. Mark seam. So spacebar, mark seam. You can also do E. No, not E. Control E. Yeah, Control E and then mark seam. If you did something wrong, you can do Control E and then clear mark if you selected that object to be marked. Why the hell didn't I do this beam? L. So yeah, as you can see, it has some different parts, which isn't good, but this is a beam. I should also, for the beams, have assigned like this is a marked seam, this is a marked seam, but I'm too lazy to do that. Let's see if I unwrap it now. It should look a little bit different. Yeah, it changed a little bit just because I did the marked seam thing. Okay, so let's get into the texturing. I will need to get some lights up in here. Where the hell are the lights? Point. Okay, I'm going to do probably 8 lights again on every corner of my model, just so I've got a nice round view of everything. And I don't need to do it underneath it this time because that would mess up. You won't be able to see that anyways. I am, however, going to do them right on top of the thingy, so like here. And if I go to material mode, you can see the materials are lighting up nicely. I forgot another side to do. And yeah, it's not important to have the color, but it is important to know that this belongs to the same kind of edge texture. That's what I wanted to say, texture. So which texture did I choose? I'm going to start with the stone house. I'm going to go to textures, make it an immature movie, open. If I know where my texture is, I can see it like this. Looks spiffo. I'm going to use the stones that we made, not the brick ones, because then I'll have to do the entire house and I don't feel like doing that. So I'm going to go to textures. I'm going to select my stone texture, which is actually nicer than the other texture that I did. And as you can see, it looks pretty awful. So again, I'm going to attach that to the UVs. It looks a little bit better, but still massively big. And I'm going to put it at 10, 10. This looks pretty nice, maybe 12. 12. Okay, so yeah, this is my texture, and as you can see, they kinda lock in pretty smoothly. You can, however, see where I made the top side, but that's no problem. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with what this turned out to be. So next is going to be this side, the wood. So I'm just going to take them all, because I'll probably have to rotate some of these textures. So the model, it's the wood. I have nothing assigned to it, so texture, immature movie, open, back to the map where we placed our texture. And I am going to use this one is too bright. I can use this one for the door maybe, so I'll be using this texture. And I'm going to put it on UV. Okay, 10, 10. Yeah, as you can see here, something went wrong. These sides are good, maybe 12, because they do look very big. Yeah, 12 should be good. But as you can see, I rotated these sides, so I have to rotate them in my UVs as Okay, so I assigned them. I took them in edit mode, and here on this screen I'm just going to press R90. And as you can see, it looks really nice now. Now, next color. Nope, don't want to do that. The next one is going to be the roof. So that's this part. Again, assign a texture. It's going to be an immature movie again. I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use my roof texture. It's on UV, and let's say 12 because I'm using 12 on all of them. And god damn it. As you can see, I have a couple of mistakes, like these aren't the same size. There's an easy way to fix it. I'm just going to go to select my face select tool. I'm going to select these faces first. I'm going to go to front view, and unwrap. This way it gets this big ass look to it. And I am going to rotate mine this 90 because this is our bottom side. Make sure that it's nice inside the object. And I'm probably going to have to go to 5 or something. Yeah, 5 should be more than good enough. But there is a little problem. You don't see how it drops. It's like it's a straight roof while actually it's supposed to be dropping. So how do I fix this? I'm going to go and select these top edges, S, Y, 0. I'm going to do the same for these ones, S, Y, 0, S, Y, 0, and whoops, I only need the bottom one, S, Y, 0. As you can see, now it does look like there's a little cave in my roof, which is what we actually wanted to have. And I'm now going to do the same thing on the other side. Of course, if you don't have this cave in, you don't need to do that. Just saying that I did it. Why are these not attached to each other? Okay, so you, Smart Pro, no, don't want that. You unwrap, and as you can see again, and this one is the right size, so that's a good thing. But again, there's no cave in, so grab Y, S, Y, 0. Why do I say SY 0 while it's clearly that I'm going up? That's basically because a texture is a two-faced side and it has X and Y. SY 0, SY 0, and SY 0. Okay, so our roof is done, our walls are done. Let's go to the beams. So yeah, it's probably the next thing on my list. Yeah, the house beams. I didn't make a texture for this yet. If you guys want, I can do that, but I got one of the self-made textures. It's basically dark wood. It's just it's like making a tree. I just basically made a tree, and this is what it's supposed to be looking like. Of course, it's too big again, or I did something wrong, but yeah, 12, 12. As you can see, it gives a little bit of detail, especially here. It gives some nice details that it looks like wood, and that's basically what I wanted it to do. Okay, so our house is almost finished. Again, the little cave in, but that doesn't matter for this one. Also, my door has some nice texture to it. Now, the door itself. I guess that's the next thing on my list. Yeah, it's the door. So again, the same thing. Add a texture, open the texture, and I'm going to use the other wood one that I made, the light wood. But I'll probably have to rotate my image. So 12 and 12. Yeah, I have to rotate. So R90. And there we go. I don't like them to be this big, this small, so I'm going to put it at 15 and 15. This gives it a little bit more of a difference with the other tiles. Did I actually take down the... Yeah, I did. I took down the diffuse. I can make it darker if I want, I think. But yeah, so these are our door tiles. Our walls are done, our beams are done, and our roof is done. It's starting to look like a really nice cartoon house. But we're still not done. The floor path, that's the one that I made in the previous tutorial. So new, open, it's always the same thing. No, I'm going to use this is the one that I made before, but I think I'll use the one that we made yesterday. Okay, so again 12 and 12. And as you see, it looks like a nice little floor, although it's a little bit too big for me. So 15 and 15. There. I forgot to assign this one to the other, to the grass texture. There. I didn't make grass, so I'm not going to do that part, but I might as well just do something with the grass. So open, not an image, I'm going to use not noise. Do I have something for it actually? I should have. Maybe with noise and some greenish, darker greenish color. Again 12, 12. It doesn't do that much, but there is a little bit of detail in the grass now. Let's see, 40, 40. And I'm going to use something else than the noise. Maybe clouds. Yeah, clouds look better. So the clouds are going to be used. I've got the RBGDBDD and add, or just mix. It doesn't really matter. Wait. Nope. I want it to be the color. And if I take this down, it doesn't do too much. Okay, I knew I had it somewhere, and I know I can do it because I did it a lot in the past. But yeah, this is our house. These are our textures that we pasted on it, and we're not here to look at the ground. We're here to make this into one UV map. So I'm going to go to my triangle thing where it says UV maps, new map, and I'm going to call this one, because I always call it something else, rendered UVs. Okay, so make sure it's selected and you've got this UV map. I'm going to select everything. I'm going to do U unwrap, and as you can see, it screwed up everything. So this basically means that a lot of things we'll have to do manually. Probably. Yeah, we'll have to do some stuff manually. But that's no problem. It's just going to take us a little bit longer. I sometimes have it that it does things like this, and I don't know why. So you rotate 90, and I'm going to put all the wood on this side with these. I am going to put them on this side as well. It doesn't matter if they're overlapping each other, because you'll just be using the wood. Then the bottom sides, these actually are pretty good, so there's no problem with those. I can just leave them, but the roof I do need to change. And all of a sudden these roof tiles are very, very big. I'll have to do them one side after another and just put them on top of each other. So UV, I got that one. Now this one, U unwrap. Okay, so this one looks nice, this one looks nice as well. I'll just have to make them smaller and play around with our textures over here of the roof. But that's a detail. I'll be in this thing. Okay, so I unwrapped both of them. I'm going to select both of them. Make this smaller again. No. If you press L, you select the entire object. You can see me do that a lot. And I'm going to try to put them on top of each other. Like so. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to go to box mode. SY0. Box. SY0. I hope I can do a box here. Nope. 2 boxes then. SY0, and for the bottom one the same. SY0. Okay, so now I can select all of these, grab them up. Actually, I'm going to put them above the entire field. Okay, so our door is the next thing that's wrong. We will need to unwrap the door as well and rotate 90. I'm going to put it over here. The rest I don't care because the wood looks pretty nice and it's just some detailing, so I'm not going to mess around with that. Also, it's just a fast image, so there's no need to be messing around with that. The floor looks good as well. So now I'm going to select everything again. I'm going to get the floor, the door. I'm going to put it nicely somewhere over here. I'm going to take my roof, my wood parts. Make sure that you don't change the size of the roof parts. This is actually pretty important because if one roof part changes or gets rotated, there's no more use for it. I'm just going to put these two on top of each other because they're actually the same. B, and I'm going to put this one somewhere over here. This should be good. So now the roof part. Since I made it into one part, this is going to be easy. I'm just going to take it all. I'm going to make it really small. And when I'm here, I'm going to try to make it as big as possible again. Like this. Now I do have to change the roof tiles to a really small size, so 12, 12. And that's going to be a little bit too big, although I do like the size of them. I can also do the offset. If I don't like the offset, I can always change that. There, this looks, no, this doesn't look nicer. 0.15, like this looks a lot nicer, at least to me. Okay, so we did all of this. The next step that we need to do is we need to go to our camera all the way down, open the bake tool. I'm not going to do the full render because that's with shadows and all. I explained that already. I'm going to do the textures. I'm going to zoom out and I am going to cross my fingers and hope that it works. No object has found to be done. Okay, so that basically means that here I need to do new. I'm going to up the size this time to 49.6. So basically 1024 times 4, 49.6. And I'm going to call this UV house. Oops. UV house. And I forgot to assign it, well, to make it. Okay, so this is a very, very big image. It's going to take a little time to render this. But if I press bake, as you can see, it starts to make the stuff that I asked it to do. Slowly but surely, it's going to get there. Okay, so this is finished. Now save as image. I'm going to go to desktop, UV's house, okay. I'm going to close Blender. No, I can't close Blender. I'm going to close all of this. I'm going to open my Unity. Come on. I said I'm going to open my Unity. Ugh. I'm sorry. Might as well just already export the model file. Export OBJ. I can do it in a different thing, different size as well, but I like OBJs. And I'm going to name this house tutorial. I am going to delete this probably after we're done, and I'm going to put it on my desktop. Okay, so RTS. Because yes, this house that I just made, I can use that for my video game if I want. Not the entire thing, I'll have to delete the grass, but and the floor, but the building itself I can use, which is a good thing. Okay, and I talked to you guys about that Unity has its own render thing, its own lighting, and that's what you can see here. I still didn't change this wood, but this roof, but I'll do that. Okay, so I'm in models. I don't need that for now. I'm going to select these two and put them over here. Come on. Chop chop. Okay, so our little house, and as you can see, I did something wrong. These sides are on the other side, on the bottom side, same with the roof apparently. Yeah, so I'll have to change a little detail, and this is really easy to do. In Blender, go into edit mode, select the faces that are not rendering in Unity, and I think it's all of these. Whoops. Control, no, not Control N. No! Control N. And make them inside. Normally it should have worked, or I didn't see the change that it did. So I'm just going to make sure and just test it out. No, Control N and inside. I'm going to test this for a second, and yeah, it sometimes happens when you mess up your stuff. Okay, delete this house, and I forgot to do the path, which is actually the most important thing, but well, not really the most important thing. The roof is important as well. What the hell? Oh, it's the cube. I think I took the wrong thing. Tutorial cartoon, house tutorial. So yeah. Now, as you can see, the roof is better on both sides. I did do a lot of other mistakes, but I'll fix that off camera. For now, I'm just going to make sure that our floor is visible. Nope, Control N, and inside. Normally, if you're in, let's show you, no, in this mode, if I do Control N, you can see that it changes color, darker light, and it has to be the light color. This way I can also do these beams. As you can see, they have to be lighted like that. Okay, so those beams are fully done now. I can now export my object. When I was doing it in the material mode, I couldn't see it, which gives a cool effect, especially in video games. For example, you can make a wall and from the other side you can just see straight through it. And trust me, I did that a couple of times in other video games, in older projects. I'm going to delete these two. Okay, so this is our little house. I'm going to make a material. I don't care what it's named. Excuse me. And I'm going to assign this. The smoothness can go down. As you can see, the higher the smoothness, the more it changes with the lighting. For now, I'm going to select the light. And now this is what our house looks like without with the problems in it. But yeah, this is what the house looks like. I should have pulled these ones up, which I didn't do. On the same on this side. But yeah, our house is finished. As you can see, our textures work with the entire thing. And where's my light? I'm going to make it a little bit darker. If I can take the right bar. So day and night. So it's going to get really dark. As you can see, it looks fabulous, amazing. I do love the new engine. What the hell did I just do? I just deleted everything or something. Yeah, everything disappeared, but that's my problem, I guess. See, because I can still see this. Okay, there it is. I have no idea what I did wrong. But yeah, this is the tutorial. I hope you guys learned something interesting, something cool. And I'll see you guys for the next tutorial tomorrow or whenever I have time, because I don't always have time to do this. Bye everyone. Also, for those who want, if you have a tutorial request, you can always ask me, because I'm not good at thinking of my own tutorials. In this case, I do this because I do need to make the textures, and I might as well just make a tutorial on it. But yeah, I'm not really that good with making these kind of things. So you guys, with thinking of tutorials, so you guys can always help me. Excuse me. I will also start doing the tutorials on how to model